Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, today I would really wanted to talk to you all about something that's happened to me here recently, actually, here within the last 24 hours, and especially how it relates to intuition development and listening to your intuition, really learning how to tune in to those different signals that you might receive either externally or like in my case with what has happened with me here recently with my body. So anyway, what happened is yesterday I really wasn't feeling well at all. I was uh, just hate to say, I was having to run to the restroom quite a bit. I really was not feeling well at all. And I was taking it as, I'll admit, end of my period, pretty much tail end. And a lot of times I do have those issues there at the end. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Because, it's part of being a woman, whether you like it or not, especially as you get older and going through all those hormonal changes, hormone dumping, and so forth, perimenopause. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, you go through those issues and so forth. And I definitely was yesterday. And so, anyway, I was still trying to go out to work. And I was just like, oh, it's just deliveries now. I can pull over a lot easier or use the restroom at some place or whatever. But it was just too spur of the moment. And I was really feeling nauseous. And even after everything was said and done, I just kept getting that pull back, that feeling, don't go out to work. So I decided, okay, I'll just cut my losses, be done with it, and move on. Got a good night's sleep and everything. Woke up this morning going through my usual morning rituals that I go through with my tablet, and I get to my Google News feed. And it was a very interesting story up there. One of the very first ones, top of the list actually, really threw me for a loop when I had seen it. I was just like, okay, I gotta read this one. And I did. And basically the news headline was reading that something along the lines, I don't remember what it said exactly, but basically it was along the lines, 15 southbound reopened after closure due to finding a dead body on the freeway. What? So of course I have to read that. Come to find out, it was in and the 15, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's basically our main freeway that runs right straight through the middle of town. And it basically runs parallel to the strip, okay? And it was basically right there within that corridor that this body was found. I guess apparently it was found just after 1 a.m. And I guess the news story came out at about 6 in the morning or something like that. And they had just reopened the freeway at that point. There were still I guess the area where the body was found was still cordoned off and was under investigation, but at least the freeway was reopened. And it kind of threw me when I read it. It was just kind of like, I immediately thought of everything I went through yesterday. And I was just like, okay, Spirit, message received. Even though I was just like, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, dang it, I really need to get out there to work, this, that, and every other thing. And, in some ways I wasn't listening, but at the same point I was, obviously, because I decided that it would be best if I just go ahead and stay home. But sometimes you have to, well, in this case, literally listen to your gut. And just kind of take it as, what? Sometimes things happen for good reasons. You got to be pulled back for some reason. And I've learned to listen to that, not just through my own gut instincts, but also with sometimes my little baby. I have learned that she's a big psychic also, and whenever she's acting a certain way with trying to prevent me from being able to go out to work, I listen, because anytime I haven't listened, definitely something winds up happening, and I'm like, dang it, I should have listened. Yeah, so and that's the thing with your intuition and with signs and so forth. They can come at you in various forms. I know I get the question all the time, how do I know? And the biggest advice I can give to people when you are experiencing these things is to trust. And I know that's something that's very difficult for a lot of people, because let's face it, pretty much from day one, we're indoctrinated to turn our heads away from things like that. Oh, we're told, it's in our heads. It's your imagination, whatever the case may be. And it takes a lot to overcome that. I know it has for me here in recent years. But I have learned to trust it. Yeah, I still have work to do, and I'll admit that, because it is the practice of love, and it takes a lot to overcome those hesitations, and to overcome basically the mind, the ego, and to basically retrain it, or at least retrain yourself to not listen to it, to not listen to that fear and those biases and so forth that are generating inside your head, and to really listen to what's in your heart, and to really open yourself up to something that you can't see, can't touch, or anything, and just have faith and believe. And that's what it boils down to. No matter how much advice you can get, no matter how much training that you can receive, yeah, you can do your tarot sessions that you do for yourself. You can do your crystal ball gazing. You can gaze into a bowl of water. You can stare into a candle. You can do all these things. But unless you actually trust it, trust what you're seeing in your mind's eye, at least, trust what you're feeling, then there's no amount of training that you can do that's going to help. Because no matter what, it's going to always be right in here, right in your heart, what it is that you're feeling. Okay? So, hope this helps somebody. All right? I promise I'm going to get back to my other videos and so forth as well. Let's face it, I got a lot on my plate right now. If you've been following my videos, you know. I'm going through a lot right now. Changing career paths and everything. Yeah, it takes a lot of work. So anyway, I love you all. I'll talk to y'all soon.